Hi everyone, this is my Module 1 assignment for EDL 954. My name is Sydney Graff and here is a picture of my family. I have been married for 11 years to my husband that you can see there, and we have two wonderful children. Our son is 10 years old and our daughter is 7 years old. They keep us very busy. The other member of our family that's not here in this picture is our dog Boomer, and he is a tiny little Maltipoo that is full of energy and keeps us all entertained. So, a little bit about where I currently work and some of the demographics of our staff and students. I work for the Goddard Special Education Cooperative and the Goddard District, USD 265. Our cooperative serves four different school districts, with Goddard being our main and largest district, as well as Cheney, Clearwater, and Conway Springs, and you can see our address there. We serve approximately 9,000 students. Within our cooperative, we have about 200 certified staff members. That includes our administrators, all of our special education teachers, as well as all of our related service providers. We also have approximately 250 support staff, which primarily consists of our paraeducators, but also includes some secretarial staff and things like that. So a little bit about myself as an educator is I just finished my 10th year of teaching and I'm getting, well, not just teaching, 10th year in education, and I'm getting ready to start my 11th year. During my time as an educator, it has all been in special education. My very first job as a special education teacher was in multiple disabilities, and I taught preschool all the way to third grade, and that was in the Wichita School District. I was there for a year, and from there, I moved closer to home so that I wasn't across town from where my kids were, and I became a interrelated special education teacher and taught grades K through 4. From there, I have become a special education administrator at the district level, and I am currently a special education coordinator. My different degrees are in, my bachelor's is in early childhood unified, so I could teach special education birth up to grade 3, as well as general education K through 6. I also have my master's in building leadership. And where I would like to go with my future in education is to add my endorsement at the district leadership level. So here are some of my goals. My short-term goals are to obtain that endorsement for district leadership, like I just mentioned, as well as figuring out how to balance all of this coursework, my family and my kids, and my current job. I am a 12-month employee since I am at the district level of administration. So on top of doing all the coursework and balancing my family life, I still have a full-time job that I am responsible for. Some long-term goals that I have are to continue to grow as a professional in my current role. I'm very young in my educational career, and so any experience that I have, I feel helps me grow as an educator and helps me be a better leader and administrator. And I have so much to learn, and I hope that I just continue to be a lifelong learner and that helps me grow as a professional. Um, I really am not quite sure where I would like to go. The position I am in now was my goal. So I just want to be open to whatever the future brings for me as an educator. And so getting this degree will help me be open as opportunities arise. And then a long-term goal is to just continue to help shift the mindset for special education, even just within our own cooperative, and more of that inclusive mindset from district level administrators, building administrators, down to teaching staff and even the community. But I would love to help shift that mindset around special education at an even greater level than just our cooperative. So one of my greatest accomplishments is every single one of my students I have ever had. I feel like they were such an important part of my life. I know people say that their students become their kids, but they truly, truly did. And so for me, that is absolutely one of my greatest accomplishments is every kid who ever came through my classroom door, I wanted to make sure I impacted them, not just educationally, but so that they could see the potential in themselves that I saw in them every single day and help boost their confidence. So that for me is one of my greatest accomplishments. I became an educator to essentially become a voice for the voiceless, whether that was my students, whether that was parents who felt like they didn't know how to navigate the world of special education and what that means for their child, or even sometimes our support staff or other staff within our building who felt like they didn't know how to appropriately communicate messages, maybe to higher levels. I make a difference by building relationships, by building trust, and being relatable with our current staff. I am fortunate enough to have been a teacher in the classroom and moved directly from the classroom to a district level position. And so, because of that, a lot of the people that I help oversee now were my direct colleagues at one point in time. So, I have worked very hard to maintain those relationships and keep that trust and rapport with them because their feedback and what they do every day in the classroom is so insightful to the decisions that I make as a leader and an administrator. But going beyond that and being in that new role, I also have had to build relationships and trusts with our building principals who, at one point in time, were once my direct supervisors, and now I work in tandem with them. So that is how I make a difference. What do I know about finance? I did have my own side business for a little while. It was called Sydney Sweets. My son has severe food allergies, and so I wanted to be able to make desserts, primarily cookies, that kids with allergies could have and enjoy without the fear of having a reaction. It wasn't a very large business, and so my finance detail didn't go quite in depth very much, but of course, you have to balance, what you're charging versus the cost of all of the things needed to run the business, and of course produce your product. Um, my husband has a degree in finance and he works in the banking world, so he does manage a lot of our personal finances, and just kind of keeps me in the loop. So what I need to know is where all of the funding and education comes from in correlation with the stipulation of how it goes out. So I understand that we receive the bulk of our finance support in public education from that state level, with a minimal amount coming from the federal level. Oftentimes, the federal level I know has different stipulations that are required for districts to meet in order to obtain that funding. And there are some things at the state level in which that has to occur as well, but that primarily happens at the federal level. But just knowing where exactly it all comes from, because I know it doesn't all come from the Department of Education, and how does all of that work together? There's different reports and things that I know have to occur in order to sometimes obtain those funds, and just how does all of that work together and correlate together? So, my needs in the area of finance are to just grow in confidence in this area of finance, especially at the district level, and gaining some of that knowledge that I just talked about will definitely help me in doing that. So, thank you all for listening, and I'm looking forward to meeting all of you and learning more together in this class. Thanks.